The Flash and the Red Stars close out a home-and-home series after facing each other just 6 days ago. Tonight, we're at Sahlen Stadium for NWSL Soccer on the Flash Broadcast Network. Good evening and welcome to Sahlen Stadium. It's NWSL Soccer, the Chicago Red Stars visiting the Western New York Flash. Hi, soccer fans. I'm Joe Giuliano along with Mike Kerms for NWSL Soccer. Well, last week, the playoff situation was settled for the Western New York Flash for the second straight season. Unfortunately, they're not going to the playoffs, but with the draw in Chicago last week, the Red Stars did qualify for the first time for the NWSL playoffs. And Mike, as you look at these two teams, they're going in different directions. How do you approach this game tonight?
Well, the last time Chicago was in the playoffs was when the WPSL Elite was around, and they played who? The Western New York Flash in the finals, which Rory Dames and the Chicago Red Stars lost. Approaching this year, Chicago is in the playoffs, and now they have something to fight for. They're fighting for home field advantage in the semifinal, as the finals are going to be in Portland. So really, they're playing for home field advantage, and the Western New York Flash, they're playing spoiler. They also have something to work for. They got to start planning for next season. So they're going to try some things out for next season, but also play spoiler against the Chicago Red Stars.
And as we've mentioned, Chicago did qualify for the playoffs, but their stretch as of late hasn't been the best. But with the reinforcements of those national team players, should be a strong finish.
Yeah, in the last 6 games, Chicago's winless. The last time Chicago was here, they were 4-0-3, first in the league without a loss, and then it kind of went downhill from there, but they still made the playoffs. Kristen Press, the addition from the national team, she has 8 goals in 9 games, and that's better than anyone else in the league. Not the 8 goals, but that percentage is phenomenal. Other players that are on the leaderboard, like Crystal Dunn, she's played 18 games this season, where 8 goals in 9 games, that's just phenomenal. And really, they're going to need Kristen Press to step up even more when the playoffs come around.
She's always entertaining to watch. Look forward to a big one from Kristen Press tonight. For the Western New York Flash, well, they've got a number 23 of their own.
Yeah, Michelle Heyman, she's from Australia. She's on the Australian national team. She played 4 games at the Women's World Cup, and she started 2. She came out on fire when she first started with the Western New York Flash. She was all over the place, and really they need her to pick up her game even more as well. Start planning for next season. Michelle Heyman will be a big part of that, but really Chicago's got to watch out for her because she's dangerous.
All right, Mike, 2 great choices to focus on this evening. Stick around. Kickoff is coming up next. The Chicago Red Stars and the Western New York Flash, and it's right here on the Flash Broadcast Network.
Great Taste has landed. Sahlen's great tasting hot dogs and deli meats now available across New York State.
The Radio Press Box with Scott Petoniak and Dan Borello.
As a Bills fan, I don't know about you, Scott. It bothers me because, hey, that's what we're known for. Snow and being obnoxious.
I just don't understand why a person will get totally schnockered to the point, Dan, where the next day they won't even be able to tell you if Jack Kemp or E.J. Manuel is at quarterback.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 7.
Sports sounds better here.
95.7 ESPN.
He said, "Amy, you have cancer." And I remember the room kind of getting dark. All I could picture were my children. Nothing else mattered. I understand the immediate need to take the cancer away, but you want to make sure that you're choosing the absolute best group of doctors to do that. If someone you love hears it's cancer, please ask them to spend just one day with us.
After 4 straight on the road, the Western New York Flash are home tonight as they host the Chicago Red Stars, wrapping up a home-and-home series. Hi, everyone. I'm Joe Giuliano along with Mike Kerms. Let's get your starting lineups taken care of immediately. For the visitors from Chicago, they're 7-3-8. They have booked a spot in the NWSL playoffs. It'll be Dalton in goal, Gilliland, Johnston, Ursig, and Hemmings in the back. Colaprico, DiBernardo, Kolupny, and Press in the midfield. Leon and Huerta up top for Rory Dames, 5th year as head coach of the Chicago Red Stars. Western New York, 5-8-5. Jones will be in goal. Hinkle, Dahl, Kemper, Engen, and Edmonds in the back. Allende, Mewis, Edwards, and Andrade in the midfield with Heyman and Spencer up top. Actually, Andrade up top with Heyman and Spencer. Aaron Lyons, head coach of the Western New York Flash. And the officials, Danielle Chesky is in the middle. Assistants are Corey Richardson and Raymond Tam. And the 4th, Raymond Sabiga. Mike Kerms, welcome. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm glad to be here again for another exciting NWSL match tonight. Unfortunately for the Western New York Flash, it's a game that has no impact on the playoffs other than they can be spoiler for the Chicago Red Stars, who are trying to get that home field advantage against FCKC or Washington, or possibly if they get last place, as all 3 teams are tied for 2nd place by points, they can face that very, very strong team out in the West Coast.
29 points for KC, Chicago, and Washington as we're underway at Sahlen Stadium. Possession for the Red Stars early on. As they're wearing the white tops with the sky blue shorts and socks. They'll pick up an early corner kick. It's also Western New York's 5th annual pink game to raise money for breast cancer awareness. The jerseys will be raffled off and autographed post-game. 100% of the proceeds benefiting the Roswell Park Cancer Institute. Flash in the all pink tonight. Near side corner kick for Chicago. There's the delivery. It's a low one. Flicked into space, and a little touch there from Hemmings, not too far off the mark on the delivery from Colaprico.
It's a nice ball there by Colaprico, really just near post, shooting. There was no one got anything. There wasn't anyone that got anything on it. So really it was a surprise that it came through, and nothing but a goal kick.
Flash with possession on the far side. Mewis stood up there nicely by Hemmings, and she'll pick up a throw-in for Chicago. 4-2-3, the Red Stars away from home, making their first ever NWSL playoff appearance. You talked about the 2012 season when they met the same Western New York Flash in the WPSL Elite game, championship game right here at Sahlen Stadium. Not the way Chicago wanted it to end.
No, penalty kicks at the end. It's a tough way to lose any match, and losing it in the finals, that's the toughest it gets.
Good ball into space for Heyman.
And that's why she's so dangerous. She makes those diagonal runs and gives her outside backs and always gives them an option. So Heyman's always looking to be that option to get that ball, and that's a great run by Michelle Heyman.
Allende comes back to knock it away for the Flash, the Nigerian international, the 20-year-old, playing in the middle of the field. Dahl Kemper, Allende. Outside possession for the Flash, pushing it into the 18, and Dalton has to hurry. Spencer kind of close to getting to that one. 3rd minute and scoreless here at Sahlen Stadium. Here's Ursig, the captain of the New Zealand national team. Has it now, far side of the 18. Takes a look up. No options just yet, so she'll go long for Huerta. And the flag comes up for offside. So Chicago 7-3-8, 29 points. These 2 teams played last Sunday in Chicago. Scoreless. And that sealed the fate for the Flash. And Chicago, again, as we talked about in the Open, they've qualified for the playoffs, but Rory Dames not impressed with their play as of late.
Winless in their last 6 games. I mean, they've got 4 points, lowest in that stretch of 6 games. a team that's virtually sitting in second place in the league has the worst record in the league. It has the second worst record in the last 6 games, and that's something that you can't be happy with as a head coach.
Long ball from Mewis and just runs out of space as the flag comes up on the far side.
Particularly when you're going into the playoffs, you want to be hot. So he's really hoping for a lot here in these next 2 matches. They play here in Western New York, and then they face Carly Lloyd in the Houston Dash. So another tough match coming up, but you're hoping that your team starts to pick up steam as you run into the playoffs and roll that right into the playoffs.
There's press. Looking for DiBernardo. Heavy on the touch. DiBernardo will chase it down and keep it in play. Vanessa DiBernardo chips into the box. Jones stretches out to make the save.
DiBernardo, one of those players that was here in 2012 for that loss. Always, every time they come, you know that's something that's always in the back of your mind. You're in the finals in Western New York, again in Rochester against the Western New York Flash, and you remember that match every time you come here. Definitely, there's always something to play for.
There was a lot of buzz on the Chicago website about that 2012 final. Kolupny was quoted as saying, "Ever since we lost that final, my sights have been set on winning another championship for the city, for Rory Dames." And there's been a lot of talk. Motts was also quoted about that championship game, which they heartbreakingly lost to the Flash. A late goal from Tony Presley sent it to extra time. I think I lost my voice screaming.
Yeah, I mean, out of all players to score that, it was very unexpected from Tony Presley. I mean, I don't think she had a goal that season, and then she just hits that bomb towards the end of the match. And you got Lumnicki, Motts, who's out tonight because of a concussion, Kolupny, and DiBernardo, the ones that I recognize right now that were there in 2012.
Press looking for the long ball from Huerta. Won't get it. She's just testing that line. Here is the long ball in the space. Press turning on the Jets into the 18. The chip is up and over the goal.
And you could see how quick Press is, and you could see why she's so dangerous. I mean, and then you got Huerta, who really had a little bit of the limelight during the World Cup as the players weren't around. And here's that again from Press, and you could see her speed right between Edmonds and I believe that was Engen. You could see that speed there.
Press looking for her 9th goal of the year after coming off 4 appearances in the Women's World Cup, 4 of the 7 games she appeared in. Here's Allende. Shot is blocked, and a corner kick coming up on the far side. First one of the game for the Western New York Flash.
So I mean, going back to Huerta, Huerta could have been on the she could have been at the Women's World Cup to play for the Mexican national team, but her goal is to play for the U.S. national team, as she does have dual citizenship. So you've got Huerta and Press, 2 players that play in the World Cup that could have played. Well, Huerta could have played in the World Cup. It's up top right now, so going to give a handful to that back 4 of the Western New York Flash.
There's a high delivery into the box. Headed away by Ursig. Out to the near side now. Leon. Gilliland forward now. Huerta. Marked by Allende. Race down the near sideline. Still Huerta. Cuts it back. Allende swipes in to win it for the Flash.
It's great work there by Allende, a midfielder, tracking down Huerta forward all the way down and really winning that ball. That's the way to stay diligent and staying with that play. Sometimes you'll see a midfielder get a little bit lazy, and Allende stuck with the play right there.
And all the way from her center midfield position. Good tracking back. Here's near side, Edmonds. Spencer. Tried to play the 1-2 with Edmonds, broken up there nicely by Leon. Throwing on the near side for Chicago. It's Gilliland to take the 22-year-old out of Kentucky. Julie Johnston knocks it down the near sideline. The reigning NWSL Rookie of the Year, Julie Johnston.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a player that we haven't spoken much about, who was just phenomenal during the Women's World Cup at center back for the women's national team.
Good bit of work there from Press. Takes it out of the air nicely, but her pass is intercepted. Far side, Lady Andrade, the Colombian international. Hinkle. Edmonds. Back from an ankle injury, only her 11th appearance of the season. Spencer. Outside for Edmonds. One-time service. Heyman. Great opportunity, but the header left a bit to be desired in the 10th minute.
Oh, and that's something that they've been missing on that right side is with Edmonds going up and down. You see Hinkle doing the same thing on the left-hand side.
High one for Spencer, a little too tough to handle.
You know, those outside backs, so important for them to get forward. And Edmonds gets forward, and she plays a nice ball into the box. And Heyman didn't know if she wanted to head it or chest it there. And we'll see in the replay what happened there because it was perfectly placed on her head.
There's Heyman going again, top of the 18. Allende. Lady Andrade, a chip, and it ends up on top of the net in the 10th minute. Good build-up, though, just a minute ago with Edwards. And a good service into the box.
Yeah, and here's Edmonds getting forward, outside right back getting forward, plays a one-time ball perfectly right onto Heyman's head. And I think it just dipped on her, and she thought it was going to hit her in the head. Just didn't get the right piece of her body on it.
Headed back to the 27-year-old Chantel Jones, 12th appearance of the season. 2 shutouts to date. Hinkle looking for Lady Andrade. Knocked out of bounds and last touch by Andrade in her 5th appearance of the season. She's got 1 goal on the year. Chicago with possession on the far side, dribbled out of play. These two teams played earlier in the season right here at Sahlen Stadium. 3-1 win on June the 6th. Mewis, Fields, and Eddy scoring for the Flash. And as we mentioned last Sunday, scoreless at Chicago.
And like we mentioned before the game, at that time, Chicago was in first place at 4-0-3. As the Women's World Cup was just about to get started, they were in great shape. They had 15 points, and now they have 29. Through June, July, and August, they only picked up 14 points. So
big start.
They've definitely been struggling. They started off hot.
Definitely helping them. Huerta pressured. Edmonds knocks it off of Huerta. Good job, and it'll be a goal kick coming up for Chantel Jones and the Flash.
You know, if you look at those power ratings at this time in the season, Chicago's towards the bottom right now in terms of iciest teams right now. They're really cold, and Rory Dames is looking for him. You can see him just rubbing his head like, come on, guys, can we pick this up? We've got 2 big games here that we have to start getting hot. You go into the playoffs with confidence, and you don't have to be the better team all the time when you go into the playoffs. You just got to be the hottest team and the most confident team sometimes.
And the opportunities will come as you look at the Flash, who have just won once in their last 9 contests. So these 2 teams have definitely struggled down the stretch for Western New York. Second consecutive season that they will miss the playoffs. It's been a tough season at home for the Flash. 3-3-2. They're tied with Houston for the fewest points at home. These 3 are going to stock up and put some of those in the bank. But speaking of at home, they're 3-0 at home against Chicago. Will that continue?
It's good ball movement right there. Oh, I just said, oh, not, I was just like, oh. Good ball movement, though, until that part, until that moment.
DiBernardo will leave it there for Gilliland. Gets it back. DiBernardo, 2 goals, 5 assists on the season. 4th overall pick in the 2014 NWSL draft. As Mike mentioned, she's been here for a bit. Very good attacking midfielder in DiBernardo. And comes from a very good soccer family, as we always mention when she's here. Angelo, her father, former member of the Cosmos. As Dahlkemper steps in front of the Leon pass. Allende gets a second chance to regain possession. And out of play, throwing for Chicago. The 22-year-old Gilliland over to take it. Huerta goes away from traffic. Back to Julie Johnston, a nominee for the Women's World Cup Golden Ball Award for her outstanding play at the Women's World Cup. Good ball into space for Leon. Read well there by Dahlkemper, and she will shield her off, and goal kick coming up here for Chantel Jones. We are in the 15th minute and scoreless at Sahlen Stadium. Third and final meeting of the season. And a bad giveaway taken by Kolupny now. Third and final meeting of the season between these two teams. Back to DiBernardo. Edwards comes up hobbling. Good ball outside. Crossed in and barely kept in play. It was Hemmings overlapping, and her cross was blocked. Gets it back. Andrade fights with her for it.
And you want to talk about solid experience. I mean, Kolupny, she's at the top of the 18, about 22 yards out. And sometimes you don't see that from players, switching that point of attack and being patient. Ball comes from the left side of the field. You get the ball at the top of the 18 or 22 yards out. You see most players start to go in the middle. That experience that Kolupny possesses, she just switched that point of attack, and she knows that when you can get that entire defense to switch, everyone's watching that ball. All of a sudden, you got the players from Chicago, they can come in if that cross was just a little bit better.
Good interception here from Gilliland. Stops, plays it central. Colaprico. Now Ursig. Back to Johnston. The U.S. International. And speaking of national team players, welcome back to Sydney Leroux. Got to play in 3 games with the Flash. Got 1 goal in those 3 games, but had ankle surgery, and she was honored before tonight's game and actually spending some time on the bench right now with the Western New York Flash. As a 1-hour autograph session took place before tonight's kickoff. And wish her the best and a speedy recovery to Sydney Leroux. I guess while we're passing along well wishes, congratulations to Rich Randall, former Rochester Lancers president, named the general manager of the Western New York Flash. He'll oversee all the business operations with a focus right here on the Rochester market. Flash in good hands with Rich Randall. Welcome aboard. We're in the 17th minute and scoreless. It's Kolupny into space for press. And Engen holds off her national team partner. There's Hinkle. Andrade. Nice pass forward for Hinkle. A little flash of that brilliance. Top of the 18. Heyman couldn't get there, and it's Colaprico coming the other way. Huerta. Loose ball picked up here by Edwards. Edmonds. Outside for Hinkle. 22-year-old with a goal and an assist on the season. Allende. Andrade is pushed central now. See if she gets more of the ball here. Won't find that one. Too heavy on the pass from Edwards. Play it back to Julie Johnston. There's Colaprico. Intercepted by Hinkle. And Allende's pass to nobody on the far side. Flash having some trouble connecting. As they give away an easy throw, and here's Press checking back and wide open to receive it. Time and space.
Amazing how she can check back and have that much room to just bring that ball up another 20 yards as the Western New York Flash just keep coming back.
Press still with the ball on her feet. Plays the 1-2, almost got it back, but broken up. As it's sent forward, off the head of Julie Johnston. Gilliland. On the near side looking for DiBernardo, but Huerta will give up a throw in here to the Western New York Flash, who will be home on Friday, September the 4th against the Portland Thorns. Portland currently at 6-8-4, 22 points on the season. On the outside looking in.
Yeah, and that's the team that was in the playoffs last year. That is the one team that's out of the playoffs this year, and Chicago has taken their spot. So it's still Washington, FCKC, and Seattle in the playoffs. Portland's out, Chicago's in from last year.
And I think you mentioned it, championship game will be at Providence Park.
Yeah.
So we wonder what that's going to do for the attendance, with Portland not being involved.
You know, it's a little bit of a surprise. You know, Portland's been, I mean, obviously filling the seats, 21,000 fans at their last game. But you're going to have two teams there that the fans aren't familiar with. Great soccer town, and it'll be interesting to see how many fans show up for two teams that they're not really fans of. Obviously, there could be some traveling from Chicago, Seattle, Kansas City, or Washington. Long trip for Washington, though.
That'll be on Thursday, October the 1st. It'll be carried live on Fox Sports 1. And speaking of the Fox deal with the NWSL, the final regular season game it will carry tomorrow. It'll be from Portland against the Washington Spirit. Foul call just inside the Flash half of the field. Fox, by the way, will show both semifinal matches on September the 13th before moving on to the final on the 1st of October.
I'm sure Rory Dames is hoping that one of those games is in Chicago. One's definitely going to be in Seattle, so Fox can start preparing now for that. But that three-way tie for second place, that home game is going to be very important.
It's going to be a tight finish. Kansas City just with one game left. And that is going to wrap up their regular season. This one's played back to Dalton. Sydney LaRue getting a little work on her ankle in the 21st minute of the first half along the Flash sideline. Ursig for DiBernardo. Kind of a weird feel to this one, as we've talked about at the Open. Two teams in different directions. Chicago's in, the Flash are out, but pace has been up and down here early on. Press couldn't get it to sit and cleared away.
Another nice little pretty ball there by Kolupny. And Press just with a little bit of a mistouch, but Kolupny just, she's so strong in the midfield. It's a shame, you know, to see her retiring from international play. Great career that she's had.
31-year-old. Had a 5-year hiatus before returning for the 2015 Cup. Popped up in the air at the 6. Knocked away by Hinkle. Brought down Gilliland. That was at Edmonds. Turns the corner. Chips into the box. Jones makes the save, but it's out of play anyways. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for Western New York. Chantel Jones to take it.
Still good speed there by Gilliland. Drafted 8 this year in the NWSL college draft. And again, as you go through this Western New York Flash team, you see 4 players here that were drafted in the top 10 this year. And Aaron Lyons rebuilding, and unfortunately didn't work out for him this year. But you know you're gaining experience in that first season with all these rookies and some new national team blood there.
And I think some of the thought
Heyman
process
and Allende
was to maybe
Andrade.
load up with some of the younger players like he has and try to buy as many points as you can in that World Cup absence, you know?
Right.
And
they sure did. They had a good
started
stretch
off,
there,
yeah,
and it
started
started
off in a
getting
great
really
way.
positive. And then all of a sudden, the World Cup players started coming back for these other teams, and you start seeing some games slipping away. Plus, it's tough when you give up. In the last 6 games, they've given up the first goal in 5 of them. And that's tough to come. You're always playing down. They only led for 20 somewhat minutes in the last 6 games, and it's always tough to be constantly battling and constantly chasing a game. And that's tough for a young team to be doing.
And Mike, that specific number is the Flash have led for 21 of the past 569 minutes of play.
Sorry, I was.
You were close.
20 somewhat minutes.
You
in the
were
last
you were a second off.
9 or so games.
It's amazing stat.
I'm sorry, 6 or so games. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and that's it's always tough. It's tough to be constantly chasing games, and particularly when you've got a lot of young. You have a very young team, a lot of rookies.
And another play by Gilliland. Edmonds at midfield with the throw-in. Spencer. She was on a stretch midway through the season where she was finding the back of the net. 2 goals, 1 assist. She was extremely involved for that period of time. Maybe not on the score sheet, but creating havoc for the opposition. Jones will slow it down. Gets it back from Dahlkemper. Looking for options, has to go short to Edwards, wearing the armband tonight. And Jones has her arms up in the air, looking for options.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, you know, when the ball's just sitting there, you know, in the back, and you're waiting, you knocked it around a couple times. Chicago's just sitting back, waiting. There's no reason for them to chase after you. So your option is Engen or Dahlkemper.
Lady Andrade, still with it, still with it. Comes central now for Edmonds. She'll have a go with the left foot and just tipped away by Dalton. In the 26th minute, a good look at goal from Edmonds.
And it's nice to have Edmonds back after coming back from that ankle injury. And here's Andrade. You can see her right before that, crafty with the ball, a lot technical. She puts it to her left peg, and you think that it's going to be an easy save, and it's gives it a little bit of difficulty there for Dalton.
Second corner kick for the Flash. Edmonds on the near side. A high delivery. Dalton just swatting away Spencer, and then reaches up to make the save.
Hey, man, you're in my 6-yard box. I own my 6-yard box, but Edmonds has to do better there with that corner kick. She's got to really drive that corner kick or give it a little bit of an outswinger. I mean, just floating that ball up there into the 6. That's going to be Dalton's all day long.
That was corner kick number 2 for the Western New York Flash. For Chicago, they'll be playing the next game September the 6th. It's a home game, but it'll be at Toyota Park against the Houston Dash. Currently with 20 points, even with the Western New York Flash. There's Mewis to Spencer. Allende. Lost possession, back to Dalton. Edmonds picks up a throw-in.
Yeah, and that has a little bit to do with it also this year with the Western New York Flash. You bring in Heyman. I mean, right now you got Andrade, Allende, and Heyman all on the field right now, and they really just got here, right? So you're still trying to learn how they play. You're trying to learn that mix, get a feel, get on the same page, and it becomes difficult. When you look at the players that came back for Chicago, they're players that have been with Chicago in previous years. You got Kolupny coming back. You got Press, who really started the season with Chicago, and so there's already that flow, which Chicago really did not find when they did come back. Although Press has been putting the ball in the back of the net, Chicago has not been successful in the end getting points.
Andrade for Hinkle. Broken up there by Adriana Leon, and a third corner kick now for the Flash. It's Lady Andrade marching over to take this one. Fifth appearance for the Colombian international. Scored 2 goals at the Women's World Cup. Great footwork, fierce player. See what she comes up with on the delivery here from the far side. 29th minute. Swerving ball. Mewis, the header. Trails through the 18. Heyman keeps possession.
And that's a lot better ball there by Andrade than what Edmonds gave us before.
Dahlkemper. Headed away by the Chicago defense. And once again, cleared away. Flash will work the near side with Edwards. Through the crowd and over the end line. 30th minute goal kick coming up here for the Red Stars of Chicago.
And that's a good ball there by Becky Edwards. It's the way to put that ball back in there. You saw that, I think it was Julie Johnson had the shirt of Heyman, and you like to see that battle in the 18.
Short to Johnston. She'll go back to Dalton. Julie Johnson quickly becoming a fan favorite after that World Cup. Plays a long one down the near side that runs out of play. Intercepted by DiBernardo on the throw-in. Allende comes in. Nice little touch for Mewis.
Yeah, Julie Johnson definitely became one of my favorites during that World Cup. Just solid at center back. Her best games were prior to the semifinal and final, I think. I believe, that was my opinion. She really, I think nerves got to her a little bit. She had a couple moments where a little bit questionable. And remember, she's filling big shoes there.
Good move by Spencer. Low shot, far post. Dalton diving to her left to make the save.
Good little move there by Spencer. Again, you almost think Dalton's just standing there watching it, and Dalton makes it look like it's going to be easy, and all of a sudden she pops in, making it look a lot more difficult than you thought it was originally going to be.
Ball sent forward for Kolupny. Edmonds gets there first. Back to the Flash keeper, Lady Andrade, off her knees. Picked up by Colaprico. There's press.
Again, look at all the room they just gave press, and that's what almost converted to that goal. Dahlkemper was on press, tight on press, and then just backed off.
She has been finding a lot of space, checking back to the ball. It's twice now that the U.S. international has been able to start an attack with time and space. We'll see if we get a look at that so Mike can break it down for everyone watching tonight. Here's Edmonds. Here's a look at it, Mike.
And right here, press back, came back, checked back, and look at all the room. And Edwards is like, why did you back off, Dahlkemper? Abby, I mean. And then all of a sudden, Kolupny gets a free header. And luckily enough, Jones is there. Luckily enough, the header was right to Jones's hands.
There's DiBernardo. She's called for the foul.
But again, when press checks back like that, you got to stay tight on her. And there's Dahlkemper staying tight on her. And again.
There's Colaprico.
And again, you can see her coming back. Wide open.
Good ball for Gilliland. Knocked away by Edmonds. Still Gilliland. Their hard work leads to a throw-in picked up here by the Chicago Red Stars. Second last home game of the regular season. Huerta. DiBernardo. Spencer with some space approaching midfield. Plays it behind Allende. Flash attack has to slow down just a bit. Hinkle. With some space on the far side. Flash transitioning forward into the box. And broken up by Johnston.
That's great transition there by the Flash. And then and then getting that ball out to Hinkle, switching the point of attack, and Hinkle getting that cross in early. I just think that it broke down a little bit. That ball that was there earlier from Spencer to Allende. Again, that's a little bit about being on the same page.
And restart coming up here for the home side. It will be Whitney Engen to take it.
I mean, if you look around this Flash team, Spencer, Edmonds, really the two I recognize that were with the team last year that are on the field right now.
Looking over, yeah, you're correct.
And, you know, so you are rebuilding an entire team. And
there's Lady Andrade, not afraid to dazzle with the footwork. Good ball into the box, headed away by Ursig. And Kalupny forward for press.
it's a great ball there by Hinkle.
One time forward, looking for Huerta. Will not get to it. Edwards looking for Mewis over her head. And Ursig, a little drag of the foot, slowly brings it down nicely.
And I've been watching Ursig this game. She's very calm, cool, collected back there. Great little partner there for Julie Johnston.
She also played in Germany, Spain, and Australia. The captain of the New Zealand national team. First female player to reach 100 caps for the New Zealand Nats.
And you can see why. She's just very comfortable back there. Very comfortable on the ball.
Chicago giving up 28 goals this season. The Western New York Flash 30. For the Flash, that's the second most in the league. Boston way ahead of everybody with 42 goals against. This ball into space for Gilliland. Able to keep it in play. Chip forward, one-time shot. I'm sorry, 21 goals. 28 goals is how many they've scored. Get those mixed up when you score and you give one up. There's 21 goals given up by Chicago.
We'll just say they're +7.
There you go. But 42 by Boston, that's the most in the NWSL. After midweek losing 3-1 to the Seattle Reign. Speaking of Seattle, Kim Little, the NWSL Player of the Week. We'll talk about that in a second. Press with a shot. It's right at Chantel Jones.
Yeah, and that's you know, that's tough for Edmonds there. Edmonds gets that ball. Chantel Jones plays it off of a goal kick to Edmonds, and it hits off of her shin. Goes right to the wrong player, which is Kristen Press, and Kristen Press gets a free shot from about 20 yards out.
Allende and Johnston battle for it on the far side. 37th minute, and scoreless at Sahlen Stadium.
And you can see here that ball just goes right off the shin of Edmonds. Right to DiBernardo, right to Kristen Press. Jones there, just scoop it up.
And you know, for young players watching, Press did something there that was dynamite. The ball was coming to her. Do you see what she did?
She looked right over her shoulder.
She took a look.
Yep. Yep.
And there's so many young players who fail to do that. And that is just a great learning, teachable moment for the young soccer players out there.
Well, and that does come with experience as you're going through that 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old age time. And you do hear a lot of coaches saying, hey, always take a look over your shoulder first. And the players do eventually develop that. She's been doing that since he was a kid for sure. Some just never get it.
This one's going to stay in play. Gilliland chips into the box. Jones almost on a goal line. Had to step back for that one.
You know, if you're Rory Dames, you're like, come on, Gilliland, you do all that work up that line. Make it count. Make those crosses count.
Gilliland with 2 assists in 17 games played in the U.S. under 20 and 23 pools. There's Jones again. She's had the ball and looked for options a few times here tonight. Good step there by Hemmings. Looking for Huerta. Kalupny wanted it, and she finally gets it. Good ball outside by Kalupny. Press. Cuts it back. Chips into the box, and Jones quickly makes the save. Press has that ability just to quickly turn it up another gear.
This is a great opportunity for a counterattack. There's only 4 back, and the Western New York Flash had 5 moving forward. And Heyman at first didn't recognize it, then she recognized it and started going. But now as the Chicago Red Stars get back, it's all done.
And they recover their defensive shape, and a throw in here from Spencer.
You got to recognize that right away.
Edwards swerving. Ursig again has been solid in the middle of the defense. Adriana Leone coming over to Chicago in a trade with Boston for Carmelina Moscato back in 2013. There's Press again, checking back and finding space. Driving at the defense, Press still with it, drives around 1. Cuts it back to her right, shot, goal! It was a matter of time, Mike.
Wow. What a goal, and she was not giving that ball to anyone. DiBernardo made that run. Huerta made the first run that opened up all of that space that Kristen Press filled. Right here, Huerta's making that run, diagonal run, and Kristen Press just takes the space that she filled. You saw that Huerta was in the background. DiBernardo's on the left. Let's cut it back, and let me go for that far side netting. Thank you very much. What a great goal. 9 goals in 10 games. Brilliant goal by Kristen Press. That's definitely on the highlight film as she made a 35-yard run. And once again, the Western New York Flash are chasing the game at home.
And you talked about it. She was given so much space earlier on. It was just a matter of time. As the Flash come with Spencer. Knocked away by Ursig. Spencer gets possession once again. Driven into the box. Flicked away. Andrade de Muis. Time of the goal, 40th minute. 9th of the season for Press. Into the box. Dalton makes the save.
And here's an opportunity. You got Huerta, Kolupny, and Press just attacking the back 3.
And finds Huerta on the near side. Press central. Cross deflected into the box, and Chantel Jones will be able to pick that one up. Assist goes to DiBernardo, and she'll pick up the 6th assist on the season for her to go along with 2 goals. On to play, throwing coming up here for the Flash. 42nd minute. A classy, superb finish from Press in the 40th minute, giving Chicago a 1-0 lead.
What an awesome goal. You see players like that just at that level, just she just took a quick glance up and recognized that, okay, my only option here is the side netting, so I'm going to go for it.
Leone streaking down middle of the field again. Outside Hemmings overlapping. Settles, plays it back to Press. Again, open, time and space, takes a touch. Works through 1. Still Press. She's in a zone right now. Spins away from 1. Into the box for Kolupny. It's behind her and cleared away by Edmonds.
You know, it's funny you say that, Joe. Sometimes when you're as a player and you're in a game, you're just going. And you're not even thinking, and Press is in that zone right now. You can see she's just very comfortable on the ball. She's not losing the ball. She just keeps moving. She's making great runs. She's getting herself open.
Knocked out of play. Corner kick number 2 coming up for Chicago. It'll be DiBernardo to take it. Already had the helper on Press's goal in the 40th minute. But Press has been given space, and she made the Flash pay for that. Bernardo slowly works her way over. The 23-year-old. Coach Dame said she is the best attacking midfielder in the draft from 2014, and she is living up to that billing. Here's her service. Driven into the box. Heyman, a good header. On the near side for Allende. Hinkle draws it back, goes outside, and No one there for Western New York. Picked up by the Red Stars. Colaprico. Outside, Hemmings. Colaprico goes back to Hemmings. Huerta spins away from the first defender. Mewis comes in to help out, and this one will roll out of play. We are in the 44th minute. And it's 1-0 Chicago leading the Western New York Flash late in the first half.
Yeah, Joe, you just mentioned Samantha Mewis' name, and that's a player that we haven't heard a lot tonight, and she's a player that we have to hear a lot tonight if the Western New York Flash are going to get anything going, really. You got Becky Edwards and Samantha Mewis. If they're not touching the ball enough, then it's not flowing through the midfield, and they're really bypassing those players. And Samantha Mewis needs to be on the ball more.
Spencer couldn't get the shot away. Heyman will serve one into the box. Ursig will clear it. Spencer's volley attempt will go off of Gilliland and a late corner kick. Good opportunity here for the Flash.
A little comedy of errors going on right there. 2 missed hits by Spencer, a missed cross by Heyman, and then ends up to be a corner kick.
It's Edmonds on the near side to take it.
And this cross, this has to be a corner that's driven. And Samantha Mewis has to be the player to get on the end of it.
Better delivery. Mewis is there. Header is wide. Good call. Just the way you drew it up on the chalkboard.
Almost. The way I drew it up, it was in the back of the net.
Oh, that was the missing piece.
I didn't say that, but
1 minute of stoppage time.
Much better ball by Edmonds there.
Tonight's game produced by John Catalano and company. I'm Joe Giuliano along with Mike Kerms as we are in first half stoppage time. Chicago 1, Western New York 0. Dalton onto the far side for Hemmings. Now central for Leone. Maybe one more push here for Chicago. Hemmings outside with it. And run off the ball nicely by Hinkle. Referee checks her watch. Danielle Chesky, by the way, in the middle tonight. It'll be Jones to put this one back into play. She'll push everybody forward and get this one deep and away from the Flash goal. And with the kick, first half will come to a close. Press, 9th goal of the season, and that came in the 40th minute. Mike, your thoughts on half number 1?
Well, giving Kristen Press way too much room. You can't allow her to turn. I mean, I know in that part she was coming forward. Huerta makes a great run to open up space, and Kristen Press just took advantage of that space and just left DiBernardo also made that run, which made Edmonds come out a little bit more. And really, just a great goal by Press. I think the game's going back and forth. There isn't one team dominating. I don't think either team is playing overly exceptional. I think it's kind of 2 teams that are trying to get out of a funk. And Rory Dames is the one that has to get out of a funk a lot more than Aaron Lyons, so at this point in the season.
Chicago will go to the dressing room with a 1-0 lead. We'll go to break for the half. When we return, it'll be second half kickoff. Chicago 1, Western New York 0. This is the Flash Broadcast Network.
Popcorn. It looks like popcorn. It's like a potato. I am going popcorn. Really sweet. It reminds me of something. I don't even know how to describe it. Oh, banana. Oh yeah, it's definitely banana. Green apple. This is gonna be lime. Green apple. Yeah. Blue raspberry. Really? Raspberry? Blueberry. It's blue raspberry. Ready? How do you know that? It's confidence is key. Ready? Cheers. knows her candy. Clearly. I mean, it could be blueberry like you said. I'm right. I'm just saying I'm right. Okay.
They all have color mixtures. Like a vanilla protein shake. Yeah. Oh, the vanilla protein shake. You try it. Definitely. Vanilla protein shake. Yeah. Vanilla protein shake. You got it. Oh god. Blueberry or something. I don't know. I'm scared. Wild blue raspberry. Pepper. It's pepper. Oh my god, this is so bad. I don't like pepper that much. Ew. That is so bad. That was so bad. Okay, next time.
Ew, it's creamy. It's disgusting. It's got a little brown in it. It's kind of like pink. It's totally watermelon. Did you just say pink? Yeah, look inside. This is clearly green. You just didn't give me a chance. Just go for it. Sure. Okay, it's watermelon. Yeah. Eat it. Nailed it. Score 2 for me. Whatever. This is not even fun for me. She just like knows it all. Cool. Watermelon. I told you she's gonna be confident.
It's not. Okay. Oh, green apple. Green, I guess. I don't like it. Whatever it is. It's like plants. That's disgusting. That's people say Vegemite's bad. That's disgusting. That's a really tasty plant. Like, like perfume or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I just ate grass.
That's the thing about it. Oh, booger. I don't even want to know. Pickle. Pickle. If it's pickle, I'm gonna spit it out. It's pickle. I'm not eating that. Do they make pickle jelly beans? That was literally the most disgusting thing I've ever
She
seen.
like tried to make us happy at the beginning by giving us green apples.
Yeah.
It's just like, Ooh, brown. It's brown spotted, so it's gonna be like coffee or something. Okay, I'm going brownie. Yeah, it's coffee. Ugh! Ew! I hate that. What is that? It literally tastes like dirt. Oh my god! It's like plant. It's dirt. Like dirt. Like a plant. Oh my god, that's actually
you
dirt.
legit like
Took dirt off the ground and put it in your mouth. That's what it tastes like.
Ooh, red. I'm trying to like smell it, but this smells bad. It's the chili. Chili. Oh, this is horrible. Tomato. It's like a bad tomato. Like a burnt tomato. I'm not gonna even try to eat that. I'm finishing it. Yeah. What is that? From the ground. That's disgusting. It had dirt in it. And that wasn't good. No. Chocolate brownie. Purple moo cow. PB&J. Barbecue chicken. Oh! I'm like gonna throw up. Like I need a green apple again.
Ooh, it's kind of like light blue. No. I was gonna say cotton candy. Ready? Oh my god. Oh.
What? Oh god.
What is that? That's disgusting. It tastes like cleaner. Tastes like someone sprayed like Clorox
Dirt and
bleach in
cleaner.
my mouth.
Those are great.
Like Clorox bleach in my mouth.
Harry Potter.
Good job. This is like cinnamon.
Oh my god, that's throw up. Oh my god, that's throw up. That's throw up. You just gave us throw up. Oh my god.
It's like I had pizza and then something.
Ew.
And then I threw it up. And like that's what it tastes like. Like barf pizza and spaghetti. Jelly beans with carbs in that. What's the number of servings? It's butter. I want to taste the booger. Yeah, I remember that. You're tasting. Oh my god, no! Actually. That one actually, like, why did they make those noises? I feel sick. God.
Sahlen Stadium, second half about to begin. Chicago 1, Western New York nothing. It was Press, her 9th of the season, in the 40th minute from DiBernardo, her 6th assist on the year, giving Chicago the 1-0 lead. The Flash now giving up the opening goal in 6 of their last 7 games, and as Mike said, playing from behind, not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, always chasing the game is definitely a tough thing to do, and when you have such a young team as the Western New York Flash are, it becomes even tougher because there's not a lot of experience to help them through those times of difficulty. And really, this is where Becky Edwards and Whitney Engen have to step up and push their team even more. Also, a team that hasn't played a lot together. I mean, yeah, sure, they've played together this season, but they haven't been together a lot over time, and where I think Chicago has that advantage, where there's been a lot of players that they know each other a little bit more. They have that feel for each other, where they're going to go, where they're going to run.
Just looking over the lineups to see if there's any changes for half number 2. It looks like the coach is holding on to those substitutions for now. Flash and the All Pink will be taking care of the kickoff. They'll be attacking from right to left on your screen. It's Heyman and Mewis getting us underway in half number 2. Immediately broken up by Kolupny. And Chicago retains possession. Julie Johnston, Abby Ursig. Long ball right down the middle. No one there for Chicago. Press taken off the ball there by Mewis. Allende. It leaves a 50-50 there, and Hinkle has to work hard to keep it. Ursig again, she's been good. Well done on the anticipation, wins another one. DiBernardo, Press. Forward there, no one working on the end of it for Chicago. It's Edmonds back to Dalton, or Jones, I'm sorry.
Yeah, at halftime, Chicago had Hoy warming up quite intensely, so possibly they thought maybe there was an injury, a possible change, and just making sure Hoy was 100% ready. And also we saw Sydney Leroux warming up a little bit, getting some touches on the ball at halftime.
And a couple selfies with the ball girls.
Both teams come out the same way. Western New York Flash in that 4-3-3 with Becky Edwards in the middle and the defensive midfield with 2 attacking midfielders, and Allende and Mewis. And then Chicago comes out in that 4-4-2, almost like a diamond with Colaprico at the back of that diamond. But really, it's kind of like a lopsided 4 where DiBernardo tucks in, really tucks in. She's almost centrally, and she'll work out to that left, but Leon really stays more to the right, doesn't really play too much in the center. But so just a little bit creative in the midfield there by Rory Dames. And we saw that last time as well when he was here.
He's got such good players to execute that style. Kolupny, obviously, DiBernardo, 6 assists on the season. And having another great year.
Yeah, you got Kolupny in that attacking midfield role. She really stays there centrally, and DiBernardo really does all that work on that left hand. So she's really playing left and central to make sure that you tighten it down the middle. When you have Allende in there and Mewis in there attacking Colaprico, DiBernardo's always in there to help.
There's Abby Ursig.
The other thing they got is they got Kristen, Huerta really stays up top. She really never comes too much in the midfield. Press, on the other hand, she's playing that attacking midfield role, checking back, looking for the ball to her feet, and then wants to turn to attack. So she's really playing more of an attacking midfielder role, but never really relinquishes Chicago always having 2 forwards. So she just has great energy, great work rate, and allows Rory Dames to use Kristen Press like that.
And we'll see if the Flash now are going to track her when she makes those checking runs. And does that draw a defender out of space, allowing Chicago to play the ball up and over? So that'll be an interesting battle to watch.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, Huerta's got the speed as well, but it's kind of tough when you only got when that one forward checking back is press. She's opening up that space. As long as there's a midfielder, as long as Kolupny's running into it, it makes it real dangerous because she's the player that that the back four is not watching as much.
Long ball ends up on the foot of Michelle Dalton, 12th appearance of the season. 4 shutouts for Dalton. Obviously another well-known keeper on the roster for the Red Stars in Karina LeBlanc, the Canadian international. Sitting down just below us. Leon, back to Colaprico. The all-time leader in assists at Virginia with 44. A semifinalist for the Herman Trophy back in 2014. And Johnston coming over nicely to knock one out of play before Allende can get there. And a throw-in coming up for the Flash. We're in the 50th minute. Western New York trailing once again. A position they've become accustomed to in their last 7 matches, 6 times. They've given up the first. Can they come back here? It's Heyman, tripped up in the box. The referee will have none of it. Goal kick coming up for Chicago.
Yeah, you had a lot of Western New York Flash half-heartedly raising their hands and saying, hey! They kind of, everyone's eyes were on the referee there, and it was all half-heartedly.
And there wasn't even a reach for the whistle by Danielle Chesky. Took a look and just went about her business. She's telling Dalton to speed it up. That's her warning.
It's a little early. Less than 5 minutes into the second half. She's already taking her time, grand old time.
Right down the middle, Ursig on the one hop. Heads it to Hemmings. Play it in the middle. It's Edwards coming away with it. Poked away by Kolupny. Edwards battles again. Kolupny still there for the challenge. And a throw-in coming up here for Chicago. So with that assist, DiBernardo now ties Kim Little for the lead with 6 in the NWSL. Kim Little, the NWSL Player of the Week, by the way, the 25-year-old. Recorded her first ever hat trick in the NWSL as the rain pounded the Houston Dash last Friday, 3-0 in Houston. Not surprised, though, Kim Little. Always extra special when we watch her play.
Yeah, and what a way to do it. To clinch lead, to clinch the first place there. They just really handed it to everybody this season.
Little with 10 goals on the season, 3 behind Crystal Dunn of Washington.
You know, Crystal Dunn just, you know, it's very surprising that she was not on that national team roster because she is so dangerous. And she's, again, proving herself in this league, what her worth is. And no doubt she will be on the U.S. national team in 4 years in that next World Cup.
Dunn, the most goals in the league with 13, most shots with 80. And just behind her are the Mewis sisters. Christy with Boston has 78 shots, and then it really drops off. Samantha with 50 for 3rd best in the NWSL. As Heyman goes outside, Mewis is pushing forward. Spencer into the box, nobody on the end of it. It's Dalton to make the save. There's Hemmings. Taken away by Lady Andrade. Not afraid to show off that flashy footwork. Edwards as well. Hinkle. Right along the center line to the far side for Edmonds. Allende. Mewis. Lady Andrade. Never know what she's going to pull out of that bag of tricks. Still with it, Andrade. Heyman outside to Allende. It's the ball settled. Lady Andrade. Almost split the 2 defenders. And coming away is Ursig.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit too much, though. I mean, you got the ball, you got 3 defenders on you. You got to recognize that if there's 3 defenders on you, there's got to be an open player. So look for that open player versus being so crafty with the ball. And you'd like to see her with that fancy footwork, a little bit more movement off the ball from her.
Here's press again. Good ball across field. Gilliland, top of the 18, still with it. Lays it off. DiBernardo with a shot. It's wide. Press, the architect there.
Great ball by Kristen Press, but even better run by Gilliland. And you love seeing how she gets forward. For a rookie, just so confident getting forward. We see that from Hinkle quite often as well. For her first year as well. Number 7 in the draft. There you go. Number 7 in the draft in Hinkle and number 8 in the draft in Gilliland. But also Hinkle and Edmonds getting forward for the Western New York Flash quite a bit. You haven't seen that a lot from Taryn Hemmings on the right-hand side here for Chicago. More of a stay-at-home outside back.
Kolupny
tonight.
Gets it to Huerta. Colaprico draws it away from Allende. Through the center circle.
How about
space on the near side? Leone. Hemmings. Cuts it back. Hinkle up to the challenge.
How about that for Colaprico? So confident defensive center midfielder. Her first year in the league, number 9 draft pick in the league.
Heyman gets away from Ursig momentarily. They battled pretty tough there on that near side. Colaprico's there to break it up again. Jones outside to Edmonds. Chips it down the middle. No one there but Julie Johnston. It's Colaprico now outside for Gilliland. We are in the 56th minute. The Flash trailing the Red Stars 1-0. Into the box and a last-second tackle there. Otherwise, it was on to the goal for Huerta. And it was Dahlkemper coming in with that last-second challenge. First change of the game coming up here in the 56th minute. It is Jen Hoy coming on and replacing Adriana Leone. Hoy, 17th appearance of the season. Some very impressive numbers, Mike. 3 goals and 4 assists.
A nice player to have coming off the bench that can add some production up top or in that midfield role.
Hoy, the 24-year-old out of Princeton. Sprints onto the field, takes her spot for the Chicago throw-in. There's press. Kolupny back to press. And knocked away there by Edmonds. Third corner kick coming up here for Chicago. We're in the 57th minute. I'm Joe Giuliano, along with Mike Kerms. Our producer tonight, once again, John Catalano and company, calling the shots from the truck on the other side of Sahlen Stadium. Chicago impressive away from home, 4-2-3. And they're holding on to a slim 1-0 lead. It's DiBernardo. Oh, maybe it's not DiBernardo. I can't tell. Colaprico.
Yeah.
Low cross cleared away by Edmonds.
Should have been DiBernardo after that corner kick.
I thought she was the one who does all the setting up.
She usually is the one that's on all corner kicks.
Throwing for Gilliland.
I think Colaprico lost her chances moving forward.
Shots, 5 for Chicago, 3 for the Flash. Saves, 2 apiece. As Kolupny's got some space now. Hemmings. Cross blocked by Hinkle. So Kolupny pressed. They're checking back, receiving the ball with some space. And creating a bit of trouble here for the Flash. Lady Andrade coming back now to help out defensively. Played forward, intercepted by Colaprico, who's seemed to gain confidence as this game has gone on. DiBernardo. Kolupny. Press. Still press. Still press. Top of the 18, 1v5. Lays it off for DiBernardo. Kolupny will go outside for Gilliland. And her cross off the side of her foot. Goal kick coming up here for Western New York, but press again, top of the 18.
Able to turn, that's the thing. And you got Whitney Engen, an experienced player who plays against press all the time at the U.S. national team level. You know, was tight on her. Ball gets played from Kolupny to press, and press, she's so quick on that turn. She was able to turn on Whitney Engen, and all of a sudden Whitney Engen's back on her heels with press coming at her. And stay tighter on her, don't let her turn, but also she's just so quick with it.
She has been a handful tonight. As this one goes out of play on the near side. Looks like Western New York will at least think about making a substitution here as Elizabeth Eddy having a word with Aaron Lyons. Throw in here for Hemmings on the near sideline. Hoy knocks it out of play. And throw in coming up here for the Western New York Flash deep in their own half in the 60th minute. Knocked downfield looking for Heyman. Heyman and Ursig once again battle. Spencer into space. Heyman on the run. Ayinde open in the middle. The shot. Soft one and no trouble there for Dalton.
And that's why Heyman's so dangerous. They played her in the ball and she's so strong. Ursig was on her and she still kept that ball, played it back and made that run. Heyman is so dangerous.
Top of the 18, it's Engen who plays it back to Jones. On the near side, looking for Andrade, won't get it there. So look at that last opportunity. Heyman really working hard just to get the shot away.
Well, that's the earlier play right there. This is that earlier play where it was that missed kick by Chantel. It was that kick from Chantel Jones. But here's that play. That ball from Hinkle that goes to Heyman. She's so strong here. Holds off Ursig, lays it back, and then goes for that run. Nice ball by Spencer, and just outruns Ursig there. And gets that shot off. She also had Ayinde in the middle of the pitch, wide open.
Knocked out of play by Lady Andrade. Throwing here for the Red Stars. And Aaron Lyons looks like he's going to go with the double. As Ashley Nick throws off her warm-up gear and gets ready to come onto the pitch.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might see Lady Andrade come out here because she has not been very active at all. Eddy possibly going into that left attacking midfield role. And maybe Nick for Ayinde or Becky Edwards maybe limping a little bit.
Here's Julie Johnston.
But again, the player that has been non-existent for the Western New York Flash, it has to be existent. She has no choice, is Samantha Mewis.
Huerta looking for Hoy. And Dahlkemper steps in nicely. Makes a tough defensive play to Lady Andrade.
15 for 20.
Given up by the Flash, taken back here by Chicago. Ursig. DiBernardo. Back outside for Johnston.
10, 15 for 20.
Looking for Hoy. Won't get to it. Chantel Jones will clear it. And down middle of the field is Ayinde, and the referee is going to call this one back and also bring out the yellow card for Colaprico for her challenge behind the play. And she's switched it back to DiBernardo instead. In the 63rd minute, Colaprico was the initial player. And then the referee says, nope, we'll go to DiBernardo instead. And with this stoppage in the 63rd minute, Flash will bring on Elizabeth Eddy for Jasmine Spencer. And Ashley Nick will also be coming on momentarily. Eddie making her 14th appearance of the season, 3 goals, 2 assists. She has been versatile, to say the least. She's done a lot of different things for the Western New York Flash.
Yeah, she's played in almost every position here this year, and I was very surprised by the sub there with Spencer. I think Spencer was having an okay game. Mewis, I'm not surprised by that sub, but that's one of the first times that I've seen her come off this season. Mewis has had a relatively good season, and Nick coming in from Mewis, you knew she had to come in from one of the central midfielders.
63rd minute time of the Flash substitutions. Eddie for Spencer, Nick for Mewis, and Aaron Lyons trying to shake things up here and get the Flash back to level.
Well, you got to see more activity from the players, and now, I mean, Eddie usually when she comes off the bench, she shows a lot. She adds to the game. So when they come off the bench, all right, the game's got to lift up a level, and that's what you got to see from Eddie and Nick here. I think with Nick going back into that defensive center midfielder role, it'll allow Becky Edwards to move forward and get a little bit into the attack, put a little bit more pressure on Colaprico, and draw DiBernardo into the middle. So it'll be interesting here to see if Western New York Flash could do something as they're, once again, Joe, chasing the game.
Trailing 1-0 after the 40th minute goal from Press, and DiBernardo got the assist. Still a lot of time left here, 25 minutes plus stoppage time for the Western New York Flash as they look to get back into this one. Here's Press again, checking back, finding some space. Good ball into the 18. Hoy, shot, goal! 65th minute, Press with that space. Once again, makes the Flash pay.
Yeah, but Kristen Press is so good, and what a way to come off the bench in Hoy. And we said that whenever she comes out, what a great player to have on the bench, to come off the bench, and what a great diagonal run right between the defenders. Great ball by Press, and it starts from the back here. Johnson gets it to the outside. The ball starts to come up. It's Hemming. She finds, again, Kristen Press wide open, has the ability to turn on the defense. Dahlkemper running backwards. Nice little dink there by Hoy for her 4th goal of the season.
65th minute, Hoy from Press. It's 2-0 Chicago.
And if you're Rory Dames, you're pleased because you might feel that your team could be getting hot going into the playoffs, because this will put them in 2nd place ahead of FC Kansas City.
And Chicago with a current winless streak coming into this one at 6 games, looking to turn their fate around. And it's Press with a goal and an assist tonight, leading the Chicago Red Stars.
You know, and you just make those subs. You know, Nick gets caught out of position a little bit, but Press keeps coming out of, what she's doing is she keeps coming out of that attacking position, right? So she's making Dahlkemper or Engen.
Eddie's working something on that far side. Ursig again, though, breaks it up.
Well, she's trying to be impactful coming off the bench.
Edmonds delivers into the box. Dalton makes the save.
As Hoy just was. But what Kristen Press keeps doing is she keeps checking back. She's in that attack. She's in that midfield, in that forward role. She keeps checking back and making Dahlkemper or Engen make a decision, and they're not coming out with her, allowing Press to turn way too much. And Nick was caught with Press checking in behind him.
Here's Ursig, who's been in the back. Gets it to Dalton. We've got a brief second here to welcome the newest member of the Flash family, the new general manager, Rich Randall. Rich, we go way back in the soccer circle in Rochester, but a new role for you, the GM of the Flash. Congratulations.
Yeah, we certainly do, Joe, and thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Great opportunity for you. Congratulations. And what's some of the key components you'll be looking at as the GM of the club?
Well, right now, I got to say, watching that goal, you got to come to these games. I mean, it's unbelievable. You're watching the best women's soccer players in the world. Kristen Press, U.S. national team player. You got Julie Johnson out there as well. But that ball, I mean, there's only a few in the world that make that ball. So it's exciting every time. It's exciting for me to join this team. It's exciting for what's to come. We've got a lot of potential off the field. Obviously, many have termed this year a rebuilding year on the field. But I can't wait for all the things that we're going to do off the field as well, Joe.
We are in the 68th minute. Chicago leads Western New York 2-0. Having a brief chat here with the new GM of the Western New York Flash, Rich Randall. And Rich, I want to wish you the best of luck. Congratulations, and great to have you back in the game of soccer.
Right. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, Rich Randall, the GM of the Western New York Flash, joining us on his first game in charge of the Flash. All right, free kick coming up for Western New York just outside the Chicago 18. It is Edwards over the ball. 2 in the wall for Chicago. Driven. Heyman gets the header up, and it'll be just inside the flag, or throwing deep in the Chicago half of the field.
Yeah, that's a key opportunity right there, that you want to see more movement from the Western New York Flash, but the play right there was Becky Edwards to Heyman. It was just a little bit too far.
Here's Andrade. Nick, first touch. Goes outside now for Edmonds. Still Edmonds pushing it central, left-footed shot, good tipping save. Dalton makes a big one there.
Yeah, and again, Edmonds puts it inside. She gets the ball here from Nick and just takes that that one touch to the inside. You don't think she can hit with her left peg because she's playing right back, but that's the second time that Edmonds has showed us, yeah, I'm okay with cutting it inside, and that makes an outside back even more dangerous when they can play it with either foot.
Near side corner kick, 70th minute, a big save from Dalton. Here's the delivery. Punched up in the air by Dalton to the far side of the 18. Out of play again, the Flash will work the other side now on a corner kick.
Making Dalton do a little bit of work here.
It's Edmonds now. Working it over on the far side. 5th corner kick of the game for the Flash. Can they make this one count? Here's the signal. Steps into it. A high delivery into the box. Off the head of Johnston. And Hoy, his second half substitute, coming on with a goal. Has it now on the near side for Hemmings. Heyman, a little tug on the shoulder, able to slow Hemmings down just enough. And win a throw in for the Flash.
Good work, good backtracking there by Heyman.
71st minute, 2-0 Chicago.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left. You know, there's definitely a sense of urgency. You're definitely chasing the game. You're down 2.
Press, time, looks. Kolupny was making that run from deep in the midfield. Didn't get it to her though. And outside to Edmonds. Working Eddie now. Always a spark off the bench. Elizabeth Eddy, the 23-year-old of USC. There's Hinkle. Dahlkemper. With UCLA, another soccer stronghold in college. And this one's out of play. Hinkle can't keep it in bounds. Hemmings will put it back in for Chicago. Again, they'll be home Sunday against Houston, the Flash, on Friday, September 4th, 7 p.m. against the Portland Thorns. Visit wnyflash.com for game information and tickets. There's Edmonds out to Eddie. Goes down, Kolupny. Back from DiBernardo. There's Hemmings with a touch. Slows it down. Ursig has been good tonight.
Yeah, she's just calm, cool, and collected. I mean, the one time there you saw Heyman and her in a foot race, and Heyman had her. I mean, but that's the only time that I've seen Ursig beat all night.
Back to Dalton, Chicago in control, 2-0 in the 73rd minute. They'll hang on to the ball and eat away at the clock as well. No urgency now, as they've got 2 on the scoreboard. Flash are going to have to come up and apply some pressure to win possession back. Ursig down the middle for Hoy. Won by Kolupny. Looks around, still with it. Kolupny tripped up by Andrade. Call will be made by Danielle Chesky. Free kick coming up now for Chicago. Back to Ursig. All the way back to Dalton, and again, just eating away at the clock. Looking to hang on to these 3 valuable points. Chicago again 0-3.
And there it is
at
again.
Sahlen Stadium.
And there it is again. Kristen Press is just wide open. Every time she checks back, there's nobody going. She's finding so much space. And at some point, you got to change your game plan with that flat back 4. And somebody's got to stay on top of Kristen Press. One of the center backs has to go with her.
Press having a solid night. 1 goal, 1 assist. As Colaprico will poke it forward and out of play. And this will give Aaron Lyons' Western New York Flash a chance to make their 3rd and final substitution. It's Joya coming on for Andrade in the 75th minute. Joya, 7th appearance of the season for the Cameroonian international. Andrade had moments of good footwork, but not enough to put an impact on this game.
Not enough movement for off the ball. I mean, not enough movement off the ball. She's just, you know, she's really crafty with the ball at her feet, but off the ball, there's a lot of opportunities for her to make a run. And when you've got 3 forwards, you're expecting those 2 outside forwards to be flying up that sideline. You didn't see that enough from Andrade. And not a lot of connections between Hinkle and Andrade playing on the same side.
Johnson doesn't connect on the header, but luckily it does get back to Dalton. And she will scoop it up deep in her box. Minute number 76. Chicago trying to end a 6-game winless streak. Flash, as Mike said, playing the part of spoiler. Heyman a little tug from behind on Huerta. Easy call there for the official. Johnson. Press again, checking back, settles, turns, lays it off for Kolupny.
I mean, Aaron Lyons is going to go back to this. This video is going to be great for work with your center backs on what you do when there's a forward that checks back and shows for the ball all the time. And they've got that in Kristen Press. I mean, what an asset she is, because you can throw so much havoc into a back 4 when one player can possibly draw one of the center backs out every single time. And then when they don't go with her, what's happening is exactly what's happening tonight. There's just so much room for Kristen Press to do her work, to do her magic.
She's been good tonight. Huerta. Colaprico, the flag comes up for offside. In the 77th minute, if you're just tuning in, Press in the 40th minute scored her 9th goal of the season from DiBernardo. Then in the 65th minute, a great ball into Hoy, who finished her 4th of the season. And that's where we stand right now. Chicago 2, Western New York 0. Coming into tonight, Flash were 3-0 at home against the Chicago Red Stars. So a night of firsts, a week of firsts for the Red Stars, qualifying for the NWSL playoffs for the first time and trying to pick up their first win at Sahlen Stadium.
You know, I think it's going to be a good possibility that you see Kristen Press in somewhere for possibly Player of the Week with this performance tonight.
There's Eddie. Joya outside to Heyman. Cuts it back. Edwards to Heyman. There's Joya into the 18, double team. Hemmings will come away with it. She'll take no chances here and clear it over the near side. Hinkle throwing. This one out of play. Last touch by Chicago. It will go to Western New York. Henkel to take it. 22-year-old, Texas Tech University, looking for options. There's Joya. Top of the 18, no, a little too deep there. Nick's going to restart the attack with Edmonds. Hard shot blocked in front by DiBernardo. Kolupny, quick one touch, outside to Hoy. Can't keep it in play. They'll go out of bounds in the 79th minute. One other game tonight in the NWSL, Seattle hosting Sky Blue FC at the Moda pitch at Memorial Stadium. Seattle 12-3-3. Sky Blue 5-7-6. Only other game tonight in NWSL action. Press checking back again. Finding a little bit of space, not as much as before. So she goes back with it.
Ever since Rapinoe came over from Europe and joined Seattle, that team has been unstoppable.
And I thought you and I were kind of fortunate because we were calling that first game she came back, and you could see the whole dynamic change.
Yeah, it was
right on the spot.
That team was, they were 0-9, I believe, at the time, 2 years ago. And they just, Rapinoe's just been unbelievable. And then you add Kim Little, and now that team's just almost unstoppable. I mean, obviously they've lost 3 and tied 3 this season. They didn't win the championship last year, but still, they, you know, if someone beats them in the playoffs, I mean, that's definitely, it's the obvious pick, but it's definitely my pick because they're just so strong.
Another great season, 39 points, 10 points ahead of the second place team.
Rapinoe, Fishlock, and Little are just amazing, those three together.
I think their keeper's okay too.
She's okay.
Eddie into the box. Joyous shot blocked.
Only the best goalkeeper in the world, that's it.
Cole Perico, good defensive play.
I mean, they've given up 19 goals on the season. FC Kansas City with 18, so.
81st minute, Mike, 2-0, Chicago leading. It's Press and Hoy with the honors for Rory Dames. And we talked about it at the start of the broadcast. He was looking for some momentum from his side heading into the playoffs. And to this point, you think he's gotten it?
He's getting it a little bit. I mean, a 2-0 win would definitely get, I mean, if they could keep this shutout, it definitely helps. It helps with the confidence going into the playoffs, and it all depends on what they do into that last game. I think their performance was not great, but now you can start seeing a little bit of rhythm, a lot more talking, a lot more movement off the ball than you did in the first 40 minutes or so of the game.
Here's Ursig. She's been good tonight.
And you could see a little bit more confidence. Obviously, the Western New York Flash are chasing the game, and they're right now chasing the ball, and Chicago looks pretty comfortable just knocking it around.
They'll play it around the back. It's Dalton now to come forward. Huerta. It's a press. Nicely to Kolupny, and Hoy. Flag comes up as she chases this one down, gets involved in the play. And this will give a stop here to the Red Stars, and they'll bring on the veteran, Melissa Tancredi, in the 82nd minute, and she'll replace the legend, Kolupny. Second change of the game, as Kolupny gets a handshake from Dames and the Chicago bench.
Yeah, Tancredi, Canadian national team player. Also tons of experience. Not another player, not bad having her coming off the bench.
6 goals, or 6 games played, 2 goals for the Canadian international, Tancredi. Eddie, chip into the box. Joya's header is up and over the goal.
I have a player that just came from the Women's World Cup, and she's averaging a goal every 3 games. Oh, that's not good enough because we've got Kristen Press also, who's averaging almost a goal per game.
I'll combine up top with Hoy as well into the mix for the final 8 minutes plus stoppage time. There's Dalton in the middle.
And again, another great game by Kolupny. Just the work rate she possesses in the center of the park, and her and Kristen Press, you can see how well they work together.
Joya. Space on the far side for Edmonds.
It's got to be great for Kristen Press to have a player like Kolupny behind her. Have that leadership with just that youth and drive and press. You have that leadership in Kolupny that just gives you a little pointer still that you still need when you're 23 years old. You still got 4 or 5 years to get the game under your belt, get that experience, and then where it all matches up at about 26, 27 years old, Kristen Press could possibly be one of the best players in the country.
She's been in fine form tonight. Good anticipation. Pokes it forward. Dahlkemper in a foot race. Press closing the gap. And played back to Chantel Jones. Tancredi. This was intercepted here now by Joya.
You know, I think it was last year too. Kristen Press was playing in Sweden, and she had like a blog that she was writing every single day. There was a blog and pictures and Instagram, and it was very interesting to see how her career developed. And everyone was waiting. Okay, when is this U.S. national team player going to play in the best league in the world for women's soccer? And she finally got here, and now 9 goals in her first 10 games.
6 goals last season, Mike, in 12 games for Press.
Yeah, it was great to have her come back then. And
after scoring 23 goals with the Swedish side, Tyreso. I think there's a lot of players with that club, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a lot of
players.
players.
They were paying pretty well.
I think Marta played there.
Yep.
Not a bad club to go to.
There's Dalton's drive down the middle, flick forward over the head of Press.
One of the teams always battling for the Champions League final over there. Tyreso.
There's Hinkle on the near side. Not mistaken, I believe they were the club who ran into some major financial problems after paying the players so well. Oh! And Ersig's going to go in the book
That'll
here.
be a yellow card for sure.
Second one of the game issued to the Red Stars. 86th minute, it's Ersig to join DiBernardo in the book.
You know, honestly, I don't think Ersig had to do that. I don't think it was... Joya wasn't going to put that much pressure on. I think Ersig could have got positioning on her, and that's a mistake. But good thing it's only a yellow card. Not a bad place to be committing that foul.
86th minute, Rachel Kwan will be coming on, third and final substitution. And it's for DiBernardo. Kwan, 24 years old, 15 games played. This will be her 16th. As the change will be made now. DiBernardo coming off, and a good game for her as well, assisting on the opening goal by Press.
Well, that's a sub. Kwan is that player that I've seen play that role that Rory Dames has, playing that left midfield role, that lazy midfielder where they're not lazy. They're the ones that they leave that left side open. They really tuck in into the center of the park where you almost have 3 central midfielders and you leave that left lane open.
Dahlkemper's good ball into the box. Johnston gets up high to win it. Nick. Back to Dahlkemper. Looks, serves, far side. And they're going to call a foul against the Flash. It's Joya. Called for taking down Kwan. 88th minute, 2-0 Chicago. They'll wrap up the 2015 season next week against Houston, while the Flash will host Portland on Friday at 7 p.m. right here at Sahlen Stadium. Nick looking for a Yinde, gets it back to Edmonds. Quick one-time forward for Heyman. One hop into the box, and Dalton takes some time there. Takes a little knock also from Heyman. And she'll take her sweet time here. As Dalton looking to get her 5th shutout of the season. Knocks this one out of play. If this one holds, Western New York at home will be 3-4-2. Not a mark you want to have in the NWSL. Hoy cutting it into the 18. Shot right at Chantel Jones. Looking for the third one of the game for Chicago. Would have been the second one for Hoy.
Hoy drafted in 2013, number 25, and you can see she's dangerous. She's definitely a great player to have coming off the bench. Defenders are tired, bring her off the bench. She's going to cause some havoc. She's got speed. She makes great runs. She's got a good shot.
Quan Colaprico really stepped up in the second half. Made her presence felt, and she's been good both ways.
Just playing, sweeping in front of that back four. She just plays a great role. She gets stuck in, always showing. She's always an option for the two center backs, always an option for the outside backs if they need her. And
Eddie.
What it does is it allowed Kolupny and DiBernardo to do what they needed to do in order to get that ball forward.
90th minute. Throwing deep on the far side for Western New York. Time running out on the Flash, who trail 2-0. And that kind of sums up the night for Western New York. Edmonds had some time there, and just the touch lets her down. Shots 9 for Chicago, 7 for Western New York. Gilliland, who was much more active in the first half, she's been held in check on that far side in half number 2. And we will have 4 minutes of stoppage time, as my co-host predicted.
Written down right there, Joe.
Hey, look at Rory Dame's reaction. He can't believe it.
The same as our cameraman. Where is 4 minutes? Maybe a minute for that one sub. Maybe 30 seconds for Dalton wasting a little time.
The official will have a word with Eddie and Gilliland, and she'll put them back in their spots.
Two rookies. Eddie, virtually a rookie. She took her first year off after she got drafted to finish school.
Good ball into the box. Headed straight up in the air. Engen looking for it.
Well, I say finish school, but she wanted that opportunity to play another year of lacrosse. She's an athlete, you can just tell. Multi-sport.
Welcome addition to the Western New York Flash, Elizabeth Eddy.
And you could tell when Aaron Lyons is giving her instructions, she's so coachable. She's listening intently, and she's trying to bring it into her game. And that's when I saw Aaron Lyons talking to Eddie. I'm like, man, that's a player that you want to coach.
She has been good this year.
She has, and she's versatile. She's played, when she was needed in the back, she's playing in the back. When she needs to play in the midfield, she plays in the midfield. When you need her up top, like right now, she's up top.
There's Nick. Outside to Edmonds. Edmonds crossed into the box right at the keeper.
Dalton securing that shutout. Going back to Elizabeth Eddy, 3 goals, 2 assists. Probably relatively unexpected from Aaron Lyons and Eddie. I think he's got a lot more production out of her than he really expected this year. And he's got to be pleased with what she's done, although the year has not gone as he wanted.
Corner kick here for the Flash.
Well, I'd say Ertzig had a really good game up until about the 84th minute or so. You know, a couple things there.
There's Edmonds. She's got the power from distance. Is it off? Hinkle serves into the box, far side. And one-timer back across to the near side. Eddy. And this one will go out of play. Goal kick coming up here for the Red Stars, who away from home looking to pick up their 5th win of the season, to go with 2 losses and 3 ties.
That's a great road record. That's a fabulous road record in this league.
There's Dalton's service back into play off the head of Tancredi. Picked up by Joya Allende.
Grabbing 18 out of 30 points. That's phenomenal.
Take that all day on the road. Nick to Hinkle. Good ball into the box. Ursig gets there first.
Maybe they don't want home field advantage. 3-1-5 at home, 5-2-3 on the road. Let's get away from home, get away from our families. Let's focus on the team.
Another good ball, but Ursig again has been strong, standing up that defensive line.
Give me third place.
Never know.
Give me third place. I'll take second. I'll take, you take second place.
That whistle's not for the final game call. It's the offside on the far side of the field.
Let Kansas City or Washington take second place. We're successful on the road. We're fine.
And technically, their last game, it's a home game, but it's not at their normal stadium. It's at Toyota Park, so could help with that momentum we've talked about. And that will bring this game to a close with Chicago ending a 6-game winless streak on a 2-0 win over the Western New York Flash. Press, a goal and an assist. Hoy with the other goal. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Rory Dames has to be very, very happy, a sigh of relief. Like, we finally got that win. We're going into the playoffs. We've got one more game left. We get a win at home right now. We could go from one of the teams that are really lacking this year at this point in the season to one of the teams that's the hottest. So from the coldest to the hottest, and Rory Dames has to be very happy with this win. 2-0 on the road. He doesn't win a lot here in Rochester.
0-3.
0-3, so his first win in Rochester against Aaron Lyons, never even a point. And then Kristen Press, the player we highlighted before the game, just dynamite. Great game, goal and assist, finding space wherever possible, and great to watch her play.
Well, for Western New York, it'll be one more game on home turf against the Portland Thorns, and that will do it for the 2015 season. Next game is on Friday, September 4th, 7 p.m. right here at Sahlen Stadium. Chicago with the win now, 8-3-8. The Flash with the loss, 5-9-5. Western New York winners of 1 of their last 10. So not a good finish here for Western New York, but they'll have a chance to at least end on a positive note against Portland next Friday. Any other thoughts, Mike?
Well, I mean, at that point, 10 games ago, Aaron Lyons was like, I think we got something here. We got something that, and he starts looking at he's watching the World Cup, and he's like, all right, I got Heyman, I got Andrade, I've got Allende coming, I've got something, and it just hasn't worked out, and it's that inexperience in his team that's gaining a lot of experience this year that I believe is going to work out in the future for them.
Well, we shall see, and that'll wrap it up from Sahlen Stadium. Chicago 2, Western New York nothing. For Mike Kerms, John Calano, our producer, I'm Joe Giuliano saying good night from Sahlen Stadium.